take a look at this. This is how it plays out. When I first found out about this story, I said, what's the downloadable content update? You know how video games have, if you don't know video games, you can release a video game, then the publisher will say, here's an update to the game where you can do new things. You just pay an extra $10 or something. What's the downloadable content for this Roblox server that's doing protests? I said, maybe Roblox will let these 10-year-old free digital freedom fighters rip down the picture of innocent Jewish hostages off walls. Is that going to be a thing? Or maybe there will be extra bonus points for chasing innocent Jewish students into a school library or an attic like Anne Frank. This is madness. Obviously, that's not what we want, but that's what we got. Some people are telling me this is from a private server. Some people are saying this is from a private server, but what we're watching here is they're chasing somebody with a flag of Israel down the street. They're running after a person. I don't know if they made this up. Somebody said that this is probably private. Okay, what? And that's not the American flag there. That's not the American flag there. They're chasing somebody wearing blue and white with an Israeli flag down the bricks digital street. So it could be a private server or something like that, but there is nothing legally at all stopping Roblox. You could have public outrage, but there's nothing legally stopping them, this is actually very concerning. Chasing somebody down the street, and we've seen this play out in reality. They got Malaysian flags. This is crazy.
Middle MAGA.
Just this past week, around October 28th, I saw one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. It was a digital protest online hosted by someone on Roblox. And this is what it looked like. Surreal picture here. And this is the digital world. I think a lot of people, some people don't understand the problem with this. This is why I say it's a town square. We should have rights. But it looks like not everybody's fully understanding that.
This time, people have turned to digital spaces to take a stand. There were protests.
There's protests on Roblox. Listen up.
Kids who can't attend protests in real life are turning to digital spaces to show support for those suffering in the war. These kids are attending protests on an online game called Roblox as a way of showing support for those in Palestine. The protest involved players walking together waving their flags along a red brick road as they moved towards the end of the demonstration. Roblox then banned the hashtag Free Palestine on the platform shortly after the online protest. This isn't the first time people have turned to digital spaces to take a stand. There were protests against the Russian invasion of Ukraine in Final Fantasy, and Black Lives Matter protests during the height of COVID-19 pandemic on Animal Crossing. Kids who can't attend protests in real life are turning to digital.
So that's the Roblox protests, and I have a few thoughts on it. Here's what I have. I have an article that I haven't even uploaded this yet, but this is going to be, if I get to it. It's a middle, so it's just, if you're listening right now, it's just an exclusive for you at this point. Thanks for joining. The digital discord, Roblox, a battlefield for innocence amidst political fervor. Roblox, a platform once synonymous with child's play. This is a children's app game, has morphed into an unexpected battleground. I was shocked to see this. It's a place where the lines between innocent entertainment and political indoctrination blur into obscurity, with over 52.24 million active users daily, and I've seen higher numbers. Roblox is no longer just a game. It's a reflection of our society's deepest divides and a testament to the tumultuous quest for digital freedom. We have 52 million active people on it. This is not a local barber shop. This is not people want to, and I'm going at these digital platforms. You realize there is no First Amendment rights on these things. So you can't counter protest. The digital curtains were yanked back not by a new game release, but by the emergence of virtual pro-Palestinian protests that they stand on. They blocked that hashtag, but Roblox released a statement saying that they stand on it as long as there's no hate involved. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Here we have a generation not yet old enough to drive being exposed to the horrors of war, not through history books or the evening news, but through pixels and digital avatars and places like TikTok. A digitized enclave on Roblox, mirroring the conflict-torn streets of Palestine, has attracted over 275,000 visits. Imagine that. A march of avatars, many controlled by children under 12, parading down virtual streets with banners that might as well be from the evening news. Now let's pause for a moment. These startling visuals aren't just a mirror to the real-world protest, they're a portal, transporting global political unrest into the bedrooms of America's youth. They've found a way to get into your child's bedroom. They don't need to knock on the door. The banners, some in Malay, some of these were Malaysian. So they're making they're breaking down the walls of everything, turning this into a global issue. You've got American children under the age of 12 involved in protests hosted on Malaysian servers. This reflects a global outcry for Palestine, but what does it mean for our kids? What does it mean for our country? What does it mean for the First Amendment? Why is nobody talking about this? They're playing in a sandbox that's been turned into a soapbox. The responsibility to raise my children is on me. That's not the problem here. That's not the take here. The take is these are not private companies. That's separate from me raising my kids. That's my responsibility. You have a literal town square, a literal digital town square. This is unacceptable. They're doing way more hits on the First Amendment than the Second Amendment. Why? Because the First Amendment is way more important. That's why. And here's a number that should give us all pause. 45% of Roblox users are age 12 or younger. 60% are under 16. This isn't just a game, it's a podium for political expression where the line between player and pawn is dangerously thin. Are they going to do pro-Biden rallies next? Are they going to do anti-Trump rallies next? Roblox controls all of that. They could say pro-Trump rallies hate. Pro-Biden rallies are, of course, love. Even though he took showers allegedly with his own daughter. They can make that decision. And then I touch on Section 230. They get to make the curation decision, the algorithm decision, and then they get protected from lawsuits. And they don't have to abide by the First Amendment. The question that we have to ask ourselves is this. What happens when the voices across these digital platforms belong to children? Where do we draw the line? It's not even about, even if it was adults, it would be a problem. But there's no trigger of people say, whoa, 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 we got to reevaluate this whole thing here. When does the empowerment of digital freedom become a dark alley of indoctrination? And really, that doesn't matter as long as it's constitutional. This is obviously clearly, blatantly unconstitutional. Roblox dalliance with algorithmic curation veers dangerously close to this edge. So I would say it's constitutional if Roblox says you can do whatever rally you do as long as it's legal within the frames of the law, and we do not choose which one to give to anyone. That means they cannot have any algorithmic curation. They could offer it to users, but they cannot do it themselves, because if they're doing it themselves, then now they are an arm of the pro-Palestinian lobby, Qatar, or they could go pro-Israel. They could say, you know what? The Israel lobby is pressing up on us. We can do pro-Israel. You can't do pro-Palestine. It's a departure from the essence of the neutral conduit, which is what it should be, a principle enshrined in Section 230. Section 230 is a mess. Section 230 is actually protecting them. They have this so-called underrated experience content algorithm. What that means is basically they can curate content that's hard to find to other people. And it's all private. It's not public. We don't know what the algorithm is doing. Just like TikTok, all these. That's why I said when you're going to do the bill against TikTok, you got to do the bill against Roblox. You got to do the bill against X. You got to do the bill against all of them. It's a euphemism for control. That's all it is. A way to steer the narrative under the guise of enhancing user experience, but at what cost? The imagery of 10-year-old, and they could be younger, digital freedom fighters. It's not just unsettling, it's a grotesque spectacle of future where platforms become puppeteers and of narrative and dissent. Apple has augmented reality just glasses now. So you put the glasses on, you can see a screen. Pretty soon you'll be able to see a new reality in front of you. You can attend a virtual protest by just buying a pair of glasses. Understand that if you think that these are private companies, that once you put those glasses on, everything that you see is not, they control it. And you could be under their political movement just by putting the glasses on. You have no right to counter protest or anything. Roblox, obviously it's a platform that should be a digital public square, because it's literally a digital public square, is now a place where young minds are exposed to global political issues without the safeguard of First Amendment protected counter protest and expression. And if you dare disagree with this digital activism, you risk being labeled a domestic terrorist by your own government. It's a chilling reality that underscores the broader implications of this digital phenomenon. As we watch, almost helplessly, the innocence of youth is swept into the tides of political discord. Candace Owens and Dave Rubin don't even agree on this. Candace Owens and Megyn Kelly going heads up on this topic. People in the lives calling me anti-Semitic over this topic. You think children should be involved with this? People don't know the history of, they don't even know what's going on over there. Very dangerous place to be. People, and I use Donald Trump as an example. Donald Trump has had 90-something charges against him. And when people come up and they say that the charges are legit, I'm like, what charges are legit? They don't even know. How are you supporting Donald Trump being arrested if you don't even know the charges? How is that even possible? Why isn't the take, I don't know, something feels all funny, but I don't know the charges, so I can't really comment. People don't even have the decency to do that, much less youth. Their screens, once a canvas for whimsical games, now flicker with the harsh lessons of realpolitik. And in this digital fervor, there's a glaring absence of accountability. How were those children brought into this digital activism? That's all private, all proprietary. Remind you of the elections? We can't audit the elections anywhere in this country because they all use proprietary digital software to count them. So you go into it, you say, well, what's the algorithm that you're using? Because you have an algorithm. They say, sorry, you can't see the algorithm. Wait, it's a public election. Wait, why can't I see the algorithm? That's craziness. Well, Roblox, how were the children? Who did you choose? How did you choose them? Can we see them? It's a private company. Do you see that? Do you see the problem? What's the full spectrum of implications here? The outcry against such blatant manipulations often met with labels of extremism. As we witness the digital monopolies unfold on the virtual brick roads of Roblox protest streets, it's a reminder that this is a battle for control. What side are you on? The irony is palpable. Digital freedom on Roblox has morphed into a controlled narrative. It's a haunting glimpse into a future of innocence, where innocence is a casualty of digital warfare. As the rich state of Qatar and the rich state of Israel, I don't know who rules who. Does Israel rule us or do we rule Israel? I don't know. As they continue their feud in our country, buying off our politicians, there's one politician, one Republican politician that has the courage to go after AIPAC in the whole damn country. That's Thomas Massey. And I don't even know how much that's real, but I have to give him credit. He's the only one. This episode is just highlighting this digital domain, once a refuge, is now a frontier for ideological battles with implications that reverberate through the very fabric of our digital and societal ethos.
Middle